Hi, Brian Yates from DIY Like a Master. Today we're going to take a look at U-joints, drive shafts, CV joints in drive shafts, things that most people never take seriously until they have a failure. Okay, usually, commonly, your first indication that you'd have a bad U-joint would be a squeaking sound or a clunk when you shift gears. That doesn't seem to come from anywhere. Then you notice that under hard acceleration, you might have a vibration. So let's take a closer look underneath, and I'll show you some tips on how to check U-joints to see if there's anything that you can obviously see that causes the U-joint to be bad. All right, let's take a closer look. Okay, let's get down here on this creeper and get underneath. All right, there we go. All right, here's our rear U-joint on a rear drive shaft, and we can see there's no obvious movement, but I like to do it this way. I get a pry bar, and I get it right in here like that. Try and move the pry bar. See if there's any flex motion. When you push down here, if there's play in it, it'll move up and down, and you'll see flex in these areas while you move it, while you're pulling on the pry bar. Okay, I'm not seeing any flex in this driver U-joint. Let's see. Here's a U-joint at the transfer case. I can get back in here to the pry bar again. Not seeing any play. That's good. Now we notice this is what's called an in-yoke shaft. Means the slip yoke is built into the drive shaft. This is good for off-road vehicles. A lot of them have the slip yoke here at the transfer case. When you do lift kits and things like that, they can cause uneven wear because it pushes into the transfer case. Here the yoke is in the drive shaft. They tend to be a little bit more stable for long-term use. All right, let's move up here to the front. All right, in the front, you can see the front drive shaft going to the front axle. Again, we'll get up in here. Let's see. Can I get in there? I don't see any movement. Of course, the drive shaft's trying to turn. A little bit of steel degradation there. Oh, come on. Okay. I'm not seeing any movement in that U-joint. Okay, so U-joint's good and tight. Looks like that one has been replaced, though. Let's take a look back here, see what we see back here. Okay, this is the CV joint that hooks at the back of the drive shaft, hooking into the transfer case. What we're looking for here. Oh, good. Let's see if we can get another angle on that. See that up and down motion? That CV is bad. That's the noise I was hearing. That CV joint right here is going to need to be replaced. All right. Now we also have the front wheel drives. This full wheel drive, we also have CVs. But the front end is hanging down and won't be able to check them accurately with the pressure on the control arm pushing down. The only thing we can do is check for play at the axle. There's no obvious play at the axle on that one. bar on that one. All right, so that's our basics on drive shafts and U-joints. If you've seen any play in them, like we did in this joint here, then you know that has to be replaced. And you can hear the noise in that. Man, she'd make a noise. You can see it moving. So that joint needs to be replaced. All right. Thank you. Give us a like and subscribe. As always, have a nice day.